We have reached the final four of week number 6. It's semifinal action. Not Xjaym and Benji, two of the game's best players, and a rematch of the 2020 Golden T-Mobile World Championship in Las Vegas, a round 1 victory for Benji. Not Xjaym, Brian Davis, a product of South Carolina, and Ben Costain, of course, the pride of Wichita, Kansas. They will play on Juniper Falls on the front 9, and it's going to be a good one. Guarantee you. Hi, everybody. I'm Chad Schrump, and this thing is started. We have teed off on here on the hole number 1, and it should be a stinger opportunity. I did not get a peek at the hole location, but it didn't look like it's in the front. It is in the back. Here comes Ben. The first shot, that one is left, and it's long. He should be able to make that putt with a Ranger or a chip. Brian Davis is right at it per usual. This thing is good. Brian Davis stings hole number 1. It's what he did against Mark yesterday. Made elk number 1, I believe. I can't quite remember the course they played, but I know he did make number 1 yesterday and went on to win by 1 stroke. Actually, it was Rocky, I do recall now. Ben puts this putt in, and we are off to hole number 2. This is a drivable par 4 over the mountain. This thing is a little bit right. It will kick up, and it is just short. And what a shot by Brian Davis. Yeah, the line started out right, came in very nicely, then took that left slope of the green, and maybe another percentage of power, if he had that available to him, that might be in the hole. What a shot by Brian Davis. He has come out swinging. Ben Costain, he will fire at this. Based on what we saw with Brian, this will probably be left, and it is. Should be points, yes, 13,300, so he does close the gap a little on great shot points, but the big concern right now for Ben Costain is he's down a stroke going into hole number 3, as both players will clean up these short putts here momentarily after we see this replay. Nice shot from Ben. Great shot from Brian. Brian almost made 1 and 2. Golden Tee par. If you birdie, you eagle everything that you should. You drive the drivable par 4s. You eagle the par 5s. This course sets up to be 14 under par. This shot looks good from Brian. This shot looks really good from Brian. This shot looks great. He has pointed the first 3 holes. Brian Davis on fire. Not Xjaym going strong after Ben trying to get a little revenge from his loss in the 2020 Worlds as he tries to knock Ben out of the running to get to the 2021 World Championship. Here is Benji. This ball looks good too. It's a little short, and it's going to fall back. That's not going to be points, but it will be a birdie. And Ben is now 4 under par. After 3, Brian Davis, Not Xjaym, 5 under par. So 1 stroke lead for Brian Davis. We go to the par 5. Brian will set this up on the bottom of this shelf and should have a very nice look at this hole. Again, this is a par 5. He'll need probably a 3-wood, maybe a high loft driver. I'm not sure where the pin is, if it's in front or back. It's in the back, so he will go with the full big boy. Brings it out. That line looks spectacular, but it's a little bit right because of the slope of the green. So good shot. The distance was beautiful. Let's see if Brian can manage to get this a little closer. This one will also go right. It's going to bounce, and it's going to be short, but a makeable putt for Brian Davis. And he puts it right in the center of the cup. Great putt for Brian. Ben will kick this one in, and we move on to hole number 5. Another drivable par 4. We are coming up with all kinds of different words on these broadcasts. Magnificent. That was one from yesterday, and now we have a holeable, or whatever I just said. I'm not sure. Not great. Here's Brian Davis off the wall. Does a good shot. Makes it close. Benji will do the same thing. Gets that kick, but this one is not quite high enough off that wall and doesn't go onto the green. He will try to pitch in and does. Good pitch in from Benji. Tries to keep that lead at 1. That would have been big for Brian Davis. Nice putt, nice eagle. We move on to hole 6. Will we have a stinger opportunity? We do. Brian will just hit a full shot into this green. That's going to be a little bit left, but that's more great shot points for Brian Davis. He is mounting an amazing amount of points at this point of this contest. We'll have to look at the scorecard in just a moment, but he must be in the 50,000 range at this point, if not more. Ben Costain, 4-iron, hits at 98%. Does he like the line? I think this is going to be right. It is, and skirts past the hole into the fringe. That's an easy putt for Ben, and Brian will have another kick-in birdie. Brian has not had too many putts much longer than 5 feet. 66,000 great shot points from Brian Davis. Needless to say, he is enjoying this round on Junie front. Puts this drive in the fairway. Really cool view of this hole. You don't often get that camera work on this one. Benji will go to the fairway on the right side and have a longer wood or iron into this green. I think it's probably a 5-wood. This will be a 4-wood. Takes a little bit off. Needs to make something. And that is not going to do it. It hits the fringe with the rough, kicks it a little bit left. He'll have an easy eagle putt, but at this point, he needs to hole something. Here's Brian Davis, one of his first shots in a while that does not get points, and I had to pause because it was close. Probably a 7 or 8 footer or a 6-footer, and he was extremely close to pointing another hole. So, 2 holes to play. Brian Davis is about ready to get to Week 6 finals action if he can hold off Ben Costain. Another good shot, drives this par 4, bends it around the mountain with a gentle slice. Ben, this needs to go right. It does not. He's going to have a chip. Huge chip here. And it is good. Another good chip for Ben. One out of the sand, and now this one is far enough away. He actually gets great shot points as he tries to stay within striking distance of Brian Davis, but Brian is not having it tonight. Brian is 1 stroke up, 1 to play. It would be extremely difficult to give up a stroke on this hole. So Ben is going to need to hole out, and Brian is going to have to par somehow because Brian has the tiebreaker in the great shot point scenario. So this is a whole lot of probably not possible at this point. But we play it out. We're going to see what happens. Ben puts his shot into the fairway. Benji will fire an orbit. The line looks pretty. It's a little bit too short, so it bounces back too much. Brian Davis will stick a sniper in with a 9-wood. Is his math right? It is, and Brian Davis is going to seal this deal and beat Benji and move himself into the Week 6 finals. What a win by Brian Davis. He's played 2 front 9s. He is a combined 2 under GT par. Great win for Not Xjaym. We'll see him tomorrow night.